It's not a big spark, it's a slow fire that has been cooking for a long. And when I talk to cab drivers, or normal people on the street, they would tell me, no, look, we can't go every day, we have to feed our children. I tell them, see you in a few weeks when you have nothing to give them anymore. My name is Zeid Hamdan. It's true that on TV it appears a lot and as a global movement, but because I was in the demonstration of the first one after the assassination of the Prime Minister and the few other ones, no, I haven't seen the numbers of people I saw when Prime Minister was assassinated. When I tell you that Tabari Square until Riyadh al-Salih was packed.
Yeah.
That's the magnitude of the amount of people, and buses were flocking from all over the country.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen that yet, but that doesn't mean that the movement is weaker. It means that the same as in when the election happened, people are skeptical. Some people don't want to believe. Some people are tired. Some people are scared. There is not the Prime Minister's assassination triggered something emotional, immediate. This revolution has been in the making very progressively for some time. And
so in a way, it's a slower build-up to this moment. So in the sense, this time around is, in a way, more powerful because it's not directed at one particular issue. It's not that there's an assassination, huge political moment, and then people react emotionally. This time around, it's a decades-long build-up, a culmination of many things at once. Did I get that right?
Exactly. Yeah, we've been we were at war. Okay, the wounds of war were healed hastily, but healing the effects of the war, but not the. It was a symptomatic treatment, right?
Yeah.
So surface treatment.
You're talking about Ta'if and 1990.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Civil war was not treated correctly. They just found a way to just stop the fighting.
Yeah.
So each one got a piece of the cake. Each of those little bandits, right?
Yeah.
But the deep issues about why did it happen, how did it happen, and what triggered it were never tackled because it is more difficult to heal those things that have to do with education, to be honest. If people understand how futile are the reasons for which they fought, and that's we're talking about deep education, then they would never hold guns against each other. This work of educating people hasn't been done. We're at the same exact point of just after independence, with foreign powers fueling our fear against each other and our hatred, and not allowing us to believe that we have common dreams.
So this goes back more than 1989. This, from what you're saying, goes back to 1943. That we're really readdressing the way Lebanon works in its fundamental way.
Yeah, we're still there, okay? It's not just Lebanon. I'm talking about, this is something that is in all the Middle East. We don't have a political conscience. We're still at this tribal era. And you see the Sauds, and you see in Jordan, and you see in Syria, it's all about a holding clan. So
in a way, this time around, it's really not just about Lebanon. It's about Lebanon wanting more than what it was given in its earliest state. The expectations have shifted dramatically.
Well, no, but what I'm happy with this revolution is that, no, the consciousness, what you hear on the streets, the young students that are talking facts and common sense. They're saying, no, we're not talking about war. We're not talking about enemies here. We're talking about basic rights You know, whatever you are, we just need you to follow the law.
Yeah.
We need you to follow the law. That's the main request of the people.
Yeah.
We don't need your religion or your clan, or we don't care.
Yeah.
Whoever you are, we need you to be clean.
Now, and I want to ask you, as somebody, we're approximately the same age, we're from the same generation, that we were old enough to have remembered parts of the war, but we're really the post-war generation. And is this, in your opinion, the worst time in modern Lebanese history? And I'm going to include now, yeah, in terms of not the revolution, but where we are in terms of economics and politics. Has it ever been worse to you? Because I like to think back to the early 1990s, and to me, those years were even though things were still war-torn and the country was in shambles, but there was a lot of hope on the horizon, and it was a post-war era. Reconstruction was the norm. Do you feel like it's gotten just worse and worse?
No, really, because I've grown up at a time where I could not cross to Ashrafiyeh because I lived in Verdun. I lived at a time where there would be gun battles on the street while I was passing with my school bus, and I would witness dead bodies. The street would be littered with trash, and I would take my bath with we heat water on the gas.
Yeah.
This is what I live. This is my childhood.
Still, the Civil War does not...
At night, I dream about bombings and fire raining from the sky. You know, I wake up. I'm like, how come I was so small? Why is it still there?
Yeah.
No, we are at a better time. Our main problem is that our memories are short. Because the people in power don't want us to remember. Have you seen anywhere plaques or monuments for the battles that happened or the massacres? They don't want us to remember.
That's true.
It's a policy. So no, please, people must read history. They must read history of Syria and Iraq and Saudi Arabia, and they must read the history of Egypt. They must understand how a revolution succeeds and how it fails.
Yeah.
We must be clever. This is something that is unique to our people, is that we have access to an excellent level of education.
Yeah.
This is undeniable in our country.
The human potential has always been extraordinary compared to the way Lebanon is governed. The average person is so much more advanced than their state in this country.
Because we are so mixed, there is a bigger curiosity. And the ones that make trouble are the fools, really. The ones that have a little bit of information don't start to bark immediately when they see a picture, when they see a sound. You know how they send on the WhatsApp the sound, the things of people announcing problems.
Yeah.
Guys, it's so important. You always question the source.
Right.
You always go behind what you're receiving. Not react to.
Let me ask you, because what you're describing a situation where people are encouraged not to remember, that their memories are short, and that's a structural issue for Lebanese. Do you think in that sense the artistic expression feeds in because there's not much memory, that art is allowed to explore that terrain?
No, I will tell you, I've always complained about the lack of engaged art in Lebanon. If you can hear my interviews for the last 10 years, I'm always wondering, where are the artists? How can they speak of, how can they write English love songs? Although they live in such a corrupt environment, like, am I crazy? I would feel that I'm the only fool. I feel like the fool. So I felt I was living in an upside-down world, and I was the fool.
So because they were singing or performing things that are less to do with local problems and more to do with other problems?
Because they would never question their parents, their brothers. They would never question it.
Yeah.
Although they suffered from deep oppression, they would just live abstractly outside of it.
Yeah.
And I would always be inspired by the craziness of the places where I live. And I was shocked today. I feel the world has shifted upside down.
Right.
And I'm like, oh wow,
Yeah.
People, that's music to my ear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Artists that I see now in the squares writing their
Yes.
songs, I'm like, yeah, yeah,
Can I
that's
ask you,
it.
from your perspective, because you expressed frustration that there wasn't the right type of artistic expression before, did you see yourself in that role when you were initially entering the music scene? Were you consciously attacking that, or was it just I want to express myself musically?
No, spontaneously,
Yeah.
I expressed my concern towards humanity. That's
Okay.
spontaneous because I'm a kid of the war. So
Yeah.
I expressed that you are living blinded. For example, the first track that went somehow at the time there was not internet but viral was called Lost, and it tackled our submission to petrol.
To what?
To petrol.
Petrol. Yeah.
I'm lost in gold. The color of my desk darker than the light. You know, it was a metaphoric towards petrol.
Yes.
And then the second song was called Lucifer, and it addressed our addiction to religions and how we were. And I was a teenager.
How old were you when SoapKills started?
I was 18.
18.
19.
So you started really earlier in your own way. You were
16,
16.
when I started Lombrix.
Okay,
And Yasmin
okay.
started with me
Yes.
Lombrix. Then our musicians left, and we were left, Yasmin and I.
So you were kids playing with music and expressing yourself as children.
Yeah.
Did you see yourself then as somebody, as a child of the war, or was it really just I'm this is who I am and I'm perhaps just doing whatever feels right?
Well, no, when I became a bit conscious about people, I was somehow proud to be a kid of the war. It's something I would
Right.
do. This is in a teenager way.
Yes, yes.
That I would say, yeah, I lived the war, I saw blood, you know. I was very proud of that.
Because there wasn't any. You correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know of any other. I'm going to use this word loosely. Indie band that did tackle these subjects when you were doing SoapKills. And if they were around, they were not that visible back then.
I would say that at my time, Reis Bek and RGB, Kita Beirut would, and this is the first hip hoppers on the scene,
Yeah.
would be talking about craziness of
Yeah.
the system already.
Right.
That was the beginning, and I would be very proud of that because I felt that this is real hip hop.
Yes,
And we're
yes.
talking at the time where the bling hip hop was starting to become big in the US.
Yeah.
The rise of our hip hop was always legit because of the messages.
Right.
So, on parallel to that, my expression always wanted to be against a rotten system because
Or for
I've-
that matter, rotten love, rotten anything, right? I always sense that it's correcting a problem.
it was not engaged politically directly, but
Yeah.
if I was talk about love, it would be somebody trying to reach the other one and there's a roadblock.
Exactly, yeah.
For example,
Yeah.
or the song would say, "Oh, the light is rising. It's time to wake up,"
Yeah,
and it would be metaphoric.
right.
Or, "Come, my love, let's go and kiss because there's a storm about to arrive."
And is that because of your memories of the war? That there's always a concern that things will go wrong? Because I sense this always in your music, that there's a real wall.
No, really not because of the memory, because of the actual moment. Like, I was always inspired by the day, the now. The war never stopped. I don't know if you realize.
Yeah.
Maybe the militia stopped killing each other, but the war has never stopped for us.
Yeah.
The war, in their deep consequences. There were maybe not loud guns, but there were a system that was wrong, that was there.
Yes, yes.
So things never came back to normal.
Right.
And that was the thing I was always tackling in my songs.
So in a way, your music is the build-up to what we're seeing now. Because you're tackling the post-war order, which is not really a typical post-war order. It's a entrenchment of everything that went wrong during the war without people shooting each other.
And, from my perspective, because again, let's put things in their context. I'm
Yeah.
not a pop artist. I don't have millions of followers. I have
Well, you have
I-
tens of thousands,
tens
if not,
of thousands, which
if
is,
not maybe hundreds of thousands.
I hope so. I don't know.
We can
But-
put some bots in there.
yeah, but from my personal perspective,
Yeah.
I've always worked towards today.
Mm-hmm.
I see today as the biggest reward
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
I feel life has rewarded me with this moment where I feel I am not the only fool in the crazy bullshit environment. Like the whole world is completely ignoring where they live. You know?
So everyone for a moment is expressing themselves the way you've been expressing yourself. They're all wanting to overcome the
Today.
Yeah, they want to get rid of the bad. That you feel like people relate to you now. And
Okay,
I
I,
mean,
feel people still don't know me better than in the revolution today. Everybody is a revolutionary singer, so I'm less known even than before.
That's
but
interesting. Yeah.
but from my perspective,
You've gone down and
yeah, I don't mind. I don't
Yeah.
care because again, I have such a deep love for people.
Sure.
Then today I feel at my place.
Yeah.
I feel a bigger sense of belonging.
Yeah.
And before I felt really lonely. In fact, when the elections happened in 2016.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I voted for the civil party because there was a program and there was ideas and new faces.
Yeah.
And when all the warlords stayed in place, that was the summum of my despair
Yeah.
towards my people.
Yeah.
And I felt, okay, I'm really alone in this country.
Yeah.
I didn't think, okay, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna write
Right.
more music, and I write a project
Yes.
about home and belonging. And I wrote a song that I haven't released yet called Nahr al-Maut that says, where is the voice? You know, the Arabic, the singer, when he's sound checking,
Yeah.
say, when الصوت راح الصوت. So I did a game on this words, you know. وين راح الصوت مين خفى الصوت أخذوا الطيار نهر الموت.
So so that's interesting. It didn't come out, but the revolution happened. So in a way, you're predicting it in a sense.
Well, it's not difficult to predict. Things could not last forever.
Sure,
Like we're
but
bankrupt. You know?
But it's timely because it was. I know that you were going to do a joint project at Aresco,
Aresco.
and I hope it's still going to happen after the revolution. But did I get it right? You were being a little mysterious about the actual delivery because there was a lot of hinting and pictures that were not Beirut, obviously.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell where they were, whether they were Amman or whether they
Yeah.
were other places.
Well, Beit united the artists from Syria and Jordan, and the subject of the project was home.
Right.
Where is our home?
Yeah.
Where do we belong? Why are we treated so bad?
Yeah.
We are in the same house. That's the lyrics of
So it's
the
almost
song.
dignity is at stake. And,
It is that where are we living?
Yeah.
Where do we belong? That
Yeah.
was a questioning. The two artists I was working with are refugees.
I see.
They are stars in their countries, but they're not allowed to live in their countries.
Right.
And myself, again, I had this deep fracture since the elections that I felt I don't belong here, you know? Where am I? This sense of losing.
That's interesting. So you're not a refugee, but you felt lost at home.
I felt I don't belong where I was living
Yeah.
because I was surrounded by sleeping dead, I say.
Well,
Walking Dead,
Walking Dead
zombies, you know.
which are now alive and well in downtown.
Well, no, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
this is the greatest reward for my soul.
Yeah.
I feel I can live now.
Let me ask you though. Let's
have
go
hope.
back. You have hope now.
Yeah.
You know that's interesting because I don't know. We just met. I know you through your music, and your music, I don't always get the message of hope. And I'm guessing this time around there's something that really changed.
The
Because
message of hope. Well, no, there is a hope. Always. For example, I'm
If
trying to
it's- if
think
it's-
about any song.
Well, let me. I'm going to interject.
Okay.
Although I'll let you explain other ones, but the one that resonates the most, I think, with what's happening now, is maybe the most catchy,
Yeah.
and it's the most universally friendly song. General Suleiman,
Yeah.
Go Home. I know that's 8 years ago, 2011.
Yeah.
We have a different general in the palace, but you just need to remove the last name.
You don't need,
You don't even need to.
because General Suleiman is also in Iraq.
Sure.
It's
sure.
also
Yeah.
in Egypt. I found so many General Suleimans. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Whoa, you know. Like,
It's you can put any country and you get the same situation.
that was the idea behind the song.
But I know that song could have been written today, and it would be the same. If anything, it would even mean more now. And I want to just get your opinion on that song, which made you at least more famous abroad. People knew about your story, and they knew that you were interrogated briefly because of it. Is this something to you that has been... That song is a joyous occasion. It's an upbeat song. You can sing along to it. Before we started recording, you mentioned people sending their children dancing to you.
Yeah.
I know of old people that are humming. So
Yeah.
it's... Even in that song, though, it ends with "Go home," but General Suleiman stays in the palace. And that's what I meant by you want things to change, but they don't. Do you feel like this time around that they are going to change? That General insert Suleiman will go home?
Oh no, but I think since day one things have changed.
Day one of the revolution.
Since the day one that you saw all those people
Yes.
talking without fear.
Which is exactly a month ago. I mean, yeah.
People always say, "Oh, do you think this revolution is going to succeed?" In fact, I asked a person in the square, like, "Oh, you know," because there was not so many people at the moment, and was like feeling a bit down, like. And I asked a girl there in Riyadh Saleh, like, "So you think the revolution is going to succeed?" She looks at me like she's not already succeeded. Look, listen to us.
Yeah.
Look, we're here. You know.
Right.
So we can't go back. I mean, sure, there can be dictatorship forever,
Yeah.
but you can't create a sudden amnesia. People are now aware.
Yeah.
They're not in this deep denial.
Yeah.
The most dangerous thing in an addiction, for example, is the denial.
Oh, that's interesting. Addiction. So are you saying we were addicted to something?
Oh yeah.
That's interesting. I haven't heard this before.
To our comfort. We were comfortable in our little country with the little things we were given. We were coping with our 3 hours electricity cut, and we were coping with the infrastructure crawling around because we had our little piece of beach and our little piece of mountain, our piece of comfort, and we were so scared of losing it that we tolerated being eaten slowly by like a cancerous, a corruptive government.
Is it that we were addicted or we were just used to it and we didn't know how to move out?
Why do I tell you addiction? Because the addict has something that gives him a little bit of comfort, but the price he pays for it kills him at the end. And but he doesn't want to see it, and he denies it. So he lives in denial. He would never say, "Oh no, things are wrong. I'm good. I'm okay. I'm okay." And then his body starts to fail him. He starts to die.
Yes.
So yeah, I would say we are
So
all
we're dying in a sense.
We're worldwide addicted to this little piece of comfort that consumerism has given us. But we were really blinded by the price it cost to have those little piece of comfort. I think humanity needs, how to say, a little bit of awakening, a little bit of a vision that it goes further than the car and the phone and the furniture and the TV, and we need to go further than that.
So in that sense, that part of this revolution is a global thing, because that's not just this country.
That this revolution is totally part of that. And you will see very simply that as soon as the WhatsApp tax was raised, people woke up. Guys, come on, you know.
You know, I think it's so poetic justice couldn't be delivered better. That a WhatsApp tax took everyone to WhatsApp to revolt.
Yeah.
We all used WhatsApp to meet
So
and to go crazy together.
Yeah. No, but yeah, we need to communicate always freely, without WhatsApp even, without phones, without, you know, because also, you know, I'm not against attacks on WhatsApp, to be honest. If this gives back some money to the people that don't have phones.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
for example, I could never buy a car. I hate the idea of possessing such a big machine
Yeah.
that drinks petrol and that causes so much misery worldwide. You know, I can't change my phone. It's been 5 years. I feel bad because I hate this.
I should feel bad too. Mine's
I-
about 5 years old. Yeah.
I hate how, again, the world is totally in denial. I hate that. And I feel myself bad
Yeah.
because I play the game. I try to be someone, an example for humanity. But no, I'm the same. I'm just
But you're
eaten by consumerism.
So that's, in a sense, you're revolting against that issue too. So it's not just in terms of obviously corruption and the sectarian old way of governing. You're revolting against the way we interact with
This is about us.
Yeah.
We can't go point at a corrupted politician
Yeah.
and be ourselves dirty. If we are engaged in this cleansing process, we need to question really how we live and if we are living equally to our principles.
Yeah.
Let's face a government that is going to tell us, okay, having a phone will cost you that much, and having a car will cost you that much, because if you don't pay that much, you will lose the planet. You will make
Yeah.
people unhappy. You will create unhappiness.
Right.
Do you accept the price of your freedom?
Yeah.
So that's I love revolutions. I'm with it, but it has a cost. Let's accept the cost.
And the cost, I mean, maybe it's, I don't want to be too pessimistic here, but there is a big cost, which is our economy was already falling. And it's been a month that we've been demanding dignity and good things. It looks like the economy will really hit us hard when things begin to settle.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you, as a musician, as an artist, do you find your profession as hit hard as well? And I mean it in a tangible sense. Do you find that this country can provide you the platform you need to perform and to express, or are you worried that even art is at stake? Because it's easy to trash the banks. It's easy to, the larger businesses. We can easily point at them. But as you're a self-employed man to a degree. You made it on your own.
Yeah.
Is your economic well-being at stake too?
Yeah. Again, I hate to spoil the party, but I never had money.
You never had money? Well, no, you had some money.
I never look.
I know that you've
I
made...
show you my bank account. It shows $19. Okay.
You're joking.
I swear on my kid. This is my-
$19?
Yeah, I have, and it's not because of the revolution. I've been living just enough to live. Okay, like the
So
music.
you can't withdraw 20 because you'll go negative.
No, I have to wait for my wife to get her salary.
Right,
I have
right.
to wait for delivery of a project to
Yeah.
okay, but my music is paying for my life.
Right.
It's not a shop. I don't sell goods.
Yes.
I sell arts, and I get my payments from worldwide platforms
Sure.
in dollars. You see, but it's always been like that. Like I started with nothing,
Yeah.
and I'm still at the same point. Now, the more people listen to my music and buy my music, and the more downloads I will receive on my bank account in dollars. But I've never owned a land or a car, or I possess nothing really. I had a bicycle, it got stolen. I don't have instruments. I don't buy the great instruments. My guitar is the same since 10 years.
You're joking.
I don't
really?
possess. I am not someone who possess. I can leave my house tomorrow. I only have paintings that I love. This is my furniture. It's the paintings. And my family is used to that. My wife is used to not having a car. We use my parents' car because, I mean, they're growing old. Why do they need two cars? I can use their car, you know.
But let's say you had a scheduled event and it was delayed.
Yeah.
And I mean it more in an individual way. Are you able to handle more weeks of this, or let's say even months where it drags and drags? Because I'm
Yeah.
curious about people that want a better country but unable to afford the next the near future?
I would be a liar if I told you that, yeah, for sure. I have two children. One is very young.
Yeah.
So now I'm talking a lot of courage. But tomorrow, if I go to the supermarket, there's no food. If my kid is ill and he has no medicine, we should re-record an interview. You see?
No, because I think this really matters to the average person who's protesting.
I know, but as a musician, I've learned to live at the exact moment, the exact present, without carrying the pain of the past or the fear of the future. Right. I lived the exact moment, and this energy carries me. And this is how I was able to build a music career without calculating where it would take me. Because if I had to take advice from a banker, like, I'm gonna do a music career, say, in Lebanon? No, come on, stop, change, do something, get a job, he would tell me.
A local person would tell you that.
For an artist that doesn't speak really well Arabic and starting music, someone would send me home.
But I'm always curious about this, and I've spoken to people that are true to their art, the way you are, and they find their audience is always more receptive outside. Not because Lebanese don't want to listen, not because they don't want to watch or they don't want to see. It's because the obstacles here can be severe. I'll give you an example. When I spoke to Zeid Hamdan, and he expressed a real bitterness that he was sort of temporarily interrogated and in a way unfairly treated for a movie that he released 12 years ago. We know Mashrou' Layla just a few months ago. Their event was cancelled for reasons that appeared to be more silly than anything. But the threats were real. I think we spoke briefly about this Jad al-Khouri, who did the Burj al-Hawa, the Burj al-Nur curtains, and they were stripped, and he cannot express it the way he wants to. So you have artists that get then promoted outside, and all of them are treated like stars when they leave, and then they come home and it's almost like they're not given the true honor that they deserve. Even if they don't think they deserve it, they do deserve it. Do you find when you were interrogated for an upbeat song about a universal general, a dictator, did you feel like you were in the same kind of situation where people are listening to your music all over the world, and at home you're being interrogated for a silly lyric, and you had to even explain that your music is just music? You are just singing a song about any leader who goes wrong. I mean, what I'm getting at is, do you find that your potential is materialized here, or is it materialized outside?
It's mostly my friends and my family that talk to me about my potential. I never know what is my potential.
That's funny.
I never felt, even with SoapKills, I never knew if we had reached or not.
I've seen SoapKills CDs in strange places, and you have no idea that you may. I mean, it really. It's a lot bigger, I think, than you.
In fact, the moment we started to feel it, Yasmin wanted to get out of Lebanon because she feels she was not reaching her potential. So I think the potential killed the potential.
But I mean, the potential. That's fine. No, but the potential was reaching. That's my point. Outside, people were listening. And people do listen.
Yeah. Again, I don't do my music
That's funny.
for the people, for the reach of the people. I do for sure music for the people, but I do music because I love doing music. I hope it reaches people. I would be so happy that people vibrate to what I have to express. But I swear, I never consider how far it's gonna reach. Sometimes I feel sorry for myself that I don't reach more people, but it's never something that waits on my heart more than maybe half an hour. So,
but this actually opens another door. And last few weeks, we've heard people chanting their own songs that would have been censored 10 years ago. I mean, and some of them are so lyrically perfect, and you hear grandmothers listening and nodding with joy. There's a maneuvering of expression that's widened. You can say somebody's name, Kiss Immo. 10 years ago, you wouldn't have been able to do that. Now everyone sings it together, and there's no talk about censoring it.
Yeah.
Do you think that that has opened the door for more art and more artistic expression, that sensitivity has gone down? And that the youth are... You mentioned hip-hop before.
Yeah. Same happened in the Tahrir Square. Suddenly, the independent Egyptian scene was more listened to because people needed music with thoughts and ideas and social content. They were had enough of this music that carried no thought.
Yeah.
So we're at the same moment in time where in Lebanon a lot of youth has found an audience because it's in sync with history.
Yeah.
I just hope it does not open the doors to insults. Even in General Suleiman, I never insult.
That's
Why?
true. There's not one slur in it.
Why insult?
Actually, your most insulting phrase is "go home."
Yeah, do you think you can reach your point without insult and you are stronger? You
Yeah.
know? But if you think something is wrong, just express it in the most simple way. General Suleiman is a childish song because it must reach anyone. It's an ABC song. It's a kid's song.
It is, yeah.
About corruption and about a general that wants to become a president, and it's saying, man, no, you're a great person, why do you want to go there?
Yeah.
Stay where you are, do your job and go home.
Go home.
And then every part of those.
Do you think the Hela Ho chant is like this child became a teenager and is now, expressing?
Yeah. Every teenager needs to destroy his parents in order to evolve and emancipate. So it's exactly that. Yeah, we need to change the old dying system. But look, it goes even further. It's not that the system. It's not a teenage reaction to a system. We are being killed. There's a crime. There's a criminal there. It's not just a teenage thing. That's what the people tell. That's what the governments tell you. It's just a bunch of kids. But no, God, man, you are a criminal. You need to be judged. You need to go to jail. We're not kids revolting because we're kids. You need to face your responsibility. That's why there's something dangerous happening. People are asking for the president to step down. We shouldn't ask for that. What we need now is the president to do his job. Do your job. If he steps down, all the criminals are happy because that's chaos.
I didn't think about that.
Oh,
so
important.
So you'd rather put pressure rather than having the person leave.
We need this president to assign a government that would lead us to early elections so we can put in place the people we need to build a better country. We don't need to change the president now because that's the big unknown. That's more chaos. We have this crumbling old president that was dreaming of reaching his place. Now he needs to do his job.
So in a way it's General go work.
Exactly, get to work.
If you want to be self-sufficient, and I know that you said it in a way that you live in the now. But do you go on Instagram now? Do you go on Twitter?
Yeah.
So is that you? How do you express yourself online? Is it YouTube? What do you use?
No, recently I like Instagram. I like the power of texts and nice pictures, and I like the live system. You press live and you're live with your audience.
Right.
I like it. I share links on my Instagram about songs I've done. During the revolution, I share with the people.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
But is there compensation directly to you for that, or is it sort of lost in the?
No, in the music
algorithm?
business, you need to make noise. You need to let your name vibrant. So you get opportunities.
Yeah.
But no, the sales of your music is not there where you do your money.
Right.
It's mostly gigs. It's mostly people that order music for their movies or licensed tracks, or you do advertisement.
So the money is not necessarily any longer in the music itself; it's in selling the music and other platforms.
Yeah. Because I've been producing for the last 20 years, I have a huge catalog that is selling.
Right.
worldwide. But
Right.
but no, I don't immediately live from the sales of from the streams.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
I make around $300 a month of music sales.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
it's
so
not
it's
so much.
changed dramatically, the way artists make money through their music, and
Yeah, the
it's
streams is not the best
it's not the
way.
best, yeah.
CDs we used to make a bit more,
right.
but I didn't like the physical thing behind it. You know, pressing material and plastic, and it's not good. I was happy with the internet that خلاص I'm doing something that is untouchable. It's abstract.
You know, I think you're one of the few artists to express it this way. Because I actually, as a fan, I like holding, I like feeling, and I love even records, being able to feel the texture. And I know it takes a lot of space. I
Yeah.
know it probably is environmentally hazardous.
Yeah.
But there's something magical about being able to listen and feel. And it's
Yeah.
usually the artist is expressing their feelings through through the record, through the
Yeah.
art and
No, I like being in the air.
in the air. Yeah.
Yeah, and everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't like to be a product that you can touch.
That's interesting. So
I tell you, I don't like to accumulate things, objects.
yeah.
I like being just my body and the minimum clothes.
I'll only bother you with one more.
Okay.
I know that Zeid Hamdan was in Beirut. I don't know if she's still here, but she was. There was a moment. I think I saw you posted a photo of her on the ring,
Yeah.
and it's a stupid question. I know you get this asked. What would it take for the fans that know you from SoapKills to do one more SoapKills record? And what would it take for you guys to produce music together again? And is it just like an impossible dream that nobody should?
No, you know, I spoke to Yasmin last month about it, saying, you know, let's film a song. I'm doing a series with friends called the Cube Sessions,
Yeah.
and we film acoustic tracks inside the cube that we take wherever we want to take it. And she told me, but what's the point? I was like, what's the point? We're doing
Yeah.
something together, you know.
Yeah.
But what, are we touring? Are we going somewhere? I don't want people to think we're on a new project. I said,
I see.
no, just for the.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not really interested in that.
Okay.
So that's the situation. It's
Right.
me, you know, like begging Yasmin for a piece of us
Yeah.
because I love it so much. I love so much what we've done.
That's
I
good.
cherish it.
I'm glad to hear that.
I cherish it.
So okay.
And Yasmin not being in that moment of nostalgia, being into her own dream, which I
Yes.
totally respect. But as she says, it's not the moment.
Okay.
But we're very good friends. We love each other.
Yeah.
And so that's the most important.
Okay. So in other words, maybe down the road, maybe something would emerge. There's no closed doors. It's just that.
Yeah, it will
just-
come if it has to.
Yeah.
We recorded together the national anthem. She and a bunch of friends recorded new lyrics for the national anthem.
Oh,
And
okay.
she brought her friends into the studio.
Yes.
And they recorded it and they released it. So we did something together. If
Oh,
you
so you were
want.
part of that as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was the studio and the producer and the engineer.
Oh, so you do collaborate, but just not through SoapKills necessarily.
Nothing called SoapKills.
Right. Zed, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry, it was familiar, but
No,
that's my
thank
life.
you. Habibi.